NiKerrHiKerr, which is how you say that. I've had people asking how to pronounce it. It's basically hiker and then NiKerrh, which rhymes. It's kind of a play off my name, being Nick. So anyway, the hike is Beezley is what it's called this morning. It's kind of this, I don't know if it's officially a mountain, this big hill. You'll see it coming up here. I'm in Afraid of Washington. So as we turn the corner, we come down this hill, and you'll see there'll be radio towers, so kind of up on your left, that kind of hill, that's Beezley there, and there's a trail up. So that's where we're headed. Of course, the minute I go out the door, it starts to rain, and I check the weather report, which was clear last night, and this morning now it's calling for 70% chance of rain starting in about half an hour. So we'll see how this goes. When I started the full section hike of the PCT back in March, I had rain the first day, and then 3 days in, I think it was, I was headed into Mount Laguna, and I just had torrential downpour all day. And the area's not used to a lot of rain, so it was, the ground didn't really soak it up right away, and the trail just turned into like waterfalls, and you'll see it in a future, some of it in a future video. I didn't film as much of it as I would have liked to, because it was raining, and in retrospect, it's like, man, that would have been the best day to film, because, so some of your worst days on trail are your best days to film as far as entertaining for people to watch. So I didn't film a lot. I ended up calling my wife and getting evacuated out of there because I was like near hypothermia at one point. Just the rain was relentless. The locals I had talked to had never seen anything like that in the last several years. So it was, one for the record books. So anyway, when it started, I saw it rain this morning as I'm coming out. I'm like, oh, should I call this off and do it another day? And then I thought of that day, and I was like, no, that would have made for a really good video if we filmed it. So we're gonna film it and head on. So anyway, I apologize for the rain if it makes the windshield a little blurry. It's been doing that. It'll focus on the raindrops when it accumulates on the window, and then it gets all blurry, but I'll keep an eye on it. So this is relatively close to where I'm living now, so I've seen this. I've heard talks about it for years, close to where my sister lives. We visited the last, forever long since she's lived here, and they've talked lots of times about coming and doing. My sister's done this. She lives and works relatively close, so she's been able to multiple times, I guess, walk over here and do this. I guess in the summer, though, there's a real problem with, I don't know about a problem, but there's a real issue with rattlesnakes up here. So I've been thinking, sometime in the winter, but it's also been like real cold and icy the last couple of mornings, and she said she had to deal with it when it was icy, and that wasn't fun either. So I've been trying to find a day that works, and of course yesterday initially was my plan. Some things got in the way, and we had some other things we had to do, and that didn't work out. And of course yesterday was like this beautiful early morning sunrise, and would have been epic if I would have been able to get up here, but at last not so much. And then this morning it's all cloud cover, but whatever, can't be perfect. top. Big old radio tower. It's pretty cool. It looks like they have a Christmas light star. I don't think they've been lighting this up. I know on the hill over, there's a big old American flag. Looks like next to someone's gigantic house. I don't think they've been lighting this up yet. If I remember, I'll check tonight and see if I can get a picture of this all lit up, but it's pretty cool. Big star on the hill. But that's not supposed to be open. It's a little bit funny, the minute I get up here, I start hearing sirens down the hill like crazy. I bet you that gate's not supposed to be open, but I'm not going to mess with that. Maybe it is supposed to be open for somebody, so I'll just leave it. So it looked like there was another road on the other side. I'm going to see if that goes down so I don't have to go back the same trail. It looked like down there where I filmed, there were some benches set up, some kind of monument thing. Looks like there was another road down to that, so maybe that's this road, or maybe I'm on the road and it just doubles back. A little chilly, but not too bad, considering how cold it's been the last couple weeks. There's a freighter down there. Bunch of pretty cool looking houses up on the hillsides. So one of those, I think, let's see, yeah, it must be that one. It's hard to tell perspective, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Elevation when you're up high. Because, like, if you look over here in the city, there's like this hill that runs like almost the length of the whole city right down here. Where that side up there is higher than this down here. But from up here, it all looks pretty much flat. And when you're down there, looking up at this hill, it's huge. But from where you're at here, it just looks like a tiny hill. But there's a house there. Let's see if I can get it to zoom with gloves. There's a house there. I assume that must be the one. And somewhere near there, there's like a gigantic light up American flag that they have lit up every night. So if I remember tonight when it's dark, maybe I'll take a quick drive to see if that star is lit up and see if the American flag's always lit up, so I'm sure it will be. I don't know how well at that distance it'll show up with lights on the camera, but I can give it a shot. So maybe that'll be at the end of this video. So no, it looks like this is just that same road that loops around. So we'll be going down same way I came up. So a nice little hike, quite a bit of elevation, not super far. Luckily I didn't have to take that dirt trail that was super steep. I could take it down, it'd be an adventure. I don't think I will. Rain never came, more than just a little bit of trickles. I did think when I got up here, it'd be nice if it started raining now and we got snow up here. Make for a cool video, but I don't know if you can see way over there. Some snow on those hills. We've had it projected in the forecast around here on and off. We got probably about an inch, maybe less than that, half an inch dusting. About 3 days ago, I think it was. It started at like 11:30. But by the time we got up in the morning, it had rained. It was all melted away. I kind of hoped it would still be, at least on the grass in the car, but it wasn't. But we still have lots of, I guess technically we're not even in winter, but lots of winter to go. I think that they got like, so last year or the year before, within the last 2 years, they had like massive snowstorm here, and it was like multiple feet of snow, like snow banks that were like 4 and 5 feet tall, I think. So legit snow. And then we heard a rumor that this year's snow is supposed to be like 210% worse than than that year or last year's or something like that. So could be a interesting winter. So we're excited for snow. The kids are super excited for snow. It's going to be adjusting to driving in it, because whenever we have it back, or when we did have it back in Oregon, it's always with a mixture of rain. There's more rain there. So when you have snow, most of the time it's not just snow. It's a layer of ice underneath, or it's snow that's then been rained on and then froze. So driving in it is scary most of the time in Oregon. And Oregon's not public service wise prepared as well for, with sanding things or salting them, or snow plows or any of that stuff. So the roads just kind of deal with. Where around here they're used to having at least something every single winter. So from what we've been told, the roads get taken care of a lot better, and the main roads get sanded or whatever. So just an adjustment to being like, okay, it's safe to drive in snow. I mean, still be slow, still be careful, all that. But you don't have to be terrified like we seem to always be in Oregon, because you're sliding all over the place. And here, I hear that that's not the case most of the time. Well, with a 210% worse winter, who knows what that means? So, yeah. A combination of excited for it and learning curve, or getting used to it, or just used to having it on a regular basis every single year of some sort, is exciting. The weather, I think I said before in the last video, the weather is definitely extremes. Like, it's weird too. They'll have like massive windstorms, or a lot of big windstorms, and so that usually signals the changing of the season. So it'll be windy for a couple of weeks, like really good, crazy wind, and that kind of signals a change into the next season. And so far, that's exactly how it's been. Like, when we have a series of them, then we're headed into the next, just before summer into fall. So, and I got at some point, maybe when I'm doing those, I've been working on doing hyperlapse videos while I'm driving, which turn out really cool. I don't think I've done any on the yeah, I did one on the channel at the Lake Leonore Caves video, the last video, I think. Hyperlapse when driving, and I'm hoping to at some point capture tumbleweed, because they literally tumbleweed, like Old West style, just roll across the road here. And some of them are just, I've seen some pretty big ones, but I've heard that they've had some that are like, car size, come rolling across the road. So I'd love to get one of those on video, because I mean, when you're local, you're like, what the heck's the big deal? That happens all the time. But for us, tumbleweeds are like old Western movies, and like a real thing. So it's like the craziest thing for us. Let me see one. Chip pile of rocks. Now, the question for me on this is, I'm super impressed that people are grabbing these at the bottom and bringing them all the way up here and then dropping them off. Are people doing that? So that's cool to kind of make this. But when I look at the ground, it's like covered in rocks, covered in little pockets. Not that it's not impressive and cool, but if it's pulling from right here, it's a challenge with the very rock up the hill. Go one, go back down, get another. Look like that. So that's the OG one. Like right there. Working on number 2. The cloud cover never really cleared off. Still a little. I tried to get like a time-lapse video, but I didn't feel like the cars are too small to tell them anything. The clouds were just odd. It sucks because I got such good sunrise and sunset pictures here. It's one of the pluses is just because flat land for so far. These amazing, you can see so many clouds. It's like it's Montana, they call it big sky country. It's like that, big sky. You see so much sky because there's not a lot of trees, or there's not a lot of big mountains to obstruct your view in such a far direction. And the sunsets and sunrises have just been amazing. And like I said, of course, yesterday was one of those just amazing sunrises. And my plan was to go. My son woke up early, came and got in bed with us, and he is so anxious to get out here and do hikes. But early morning, cold, uphill, and just didn't think it would be a good combination. And there was no way I was talking him out of letting me leave without taking him with him being awake. And also no one else was up, so it's not like I could leave him with someone else and be like, hey, have fun with them. So just skipped it. Kind of sucks to miss the sunrise, but so I live relatively close. Plenty of opportunities to come up here and catch it one of these times. And now that I'm more familiar with it, start out early, do it like bring my headlamp and do it at like 4 or 5 in the morning. Hike up, bring a blanket or something. Set up at the top at a good spot and put a time lapse in and just huddle up there, stay warm, catch the sunrise. So future videos, plenty of ideas. Yeah, downhill's not bad at all. Okay, I'll turn it off for a while. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick little impromptu gear review video. I've got this, see it here, tripod. I got it just before I started out on the full through hike. This folds out, camera goes in that spot up top, and then it's like a selfie stick to it. Like, I don't know if I can do it with one hand, but it extends out farther than that, obviously. I don't have it with me today. Right in this pocket there's a remote, so if you latch it onto your phone, and then it's a Bluetooth link with the remote that goes in there, and it will start and stop your videos for you from a distance, or take pictures for you. So if you want to set it up and then come back, and then at the bottom, these are tripod legs. They all 3 fold out, and you can set it up. You can see all that comes out, so it extends even further. So it's pretty nice. I took it with me, like I said at the beginning, I bought it before. Took it with me down to Campo, which is where the monument was, right at the California-Mexico border. Took it with me for like the first 5 days, and then just ended up holding, I think, my camera the rest of the time. So it didn't really work out for me on the through hike. I think I took it at the beginning of the Oregon section hike, and then dropped it off the first time I saw my parents, just because I wasn't using it. I feel like on those hikes, you're just doing miles. You're not doing a ton of setup shots, which maybe is to my detriment. I probably should have in retrospect, but at least that time, just focusing on doing the miles. The other ins and outs, if I did something like that again, maybe take more time with it, do more establishing shot and tripod shots. But anyway, the cool thing is it's still got, because at the monument, we took like a family picture. My grandma was getting up there, hiked all the way up to the monument, which is kind of an uphill from the parking lot at Campo there. And she was able to hike all the way up to the monument, sat on the monument. We took a family picture. It was super blurry because at the time I had a phone case that had one of those completely like waterproof protection, which is probably good for out there because it did rain and it probably protected it, but the pictures all suck, which when I release those, which will be coming soon, the PCT through hike videos, you'll see at the beginning the picture quality isn't the greatest because of that. So I got rid of that phone case as well. But anyway, not a really great picture of the monument of the family. Maybe I'll include it, maybe not. It's not fantastic. But I used this tripod to take the picture, was my point, and had to dig into the sand. So the cool thing is, you can see there, like that sand right in there, that's from Campo, like right at the monument. So I think that's super cool. Like I kind of carry that with me now. I mean, until it falls out. Carry that sand to remember starting it down there at Campo. Like, who knows, maybe they'll stay with me, and if I ever go back someday, I'll reintroduce it to the same sand it came out of, kind of deal. Sounds kind of cheesy, but I think it's a really cool thing that it's just, yeah, just so far away and so far from how many things have changed since then. Just a whole different mindset. So anyway, I'll get to that in a future video when I start releasing those. I think it'll be soon. Start releasing the through hike PCT videos. There's like 5 or 6 of them. So talk more about my feelings about that and that whole situation. So yeah, another look at Ephrata. We turn the corner here and call it good unless something else comes up. I want to thank everyone again for supporting the channel, watching the videos. I think I may have lost a couple subscribers once I went away from the PCT videos, which I kind of get. Like, I really like watching people's PCT videos the day in, you know, episode 1, 2, 3, you know, day 1, 2, 3 as you go through. It's like watching a TV series. It's kind of fun. So I get this is a little bit different. I hope to add a lot more to this. Different things that I hope people will be interested in. I've been talking to people about different ideas. Definitely getting the family out to do a hike together I think would be super cool. And just a whole different set of gear you're bringing, and the backpack for the kids. And Alice is a big hiker now, so he's super excited. He's got his own backpack and hiking boots and all that. Loves using my trekking poles. It's super cute. So I think getting him out and doing some of those. Our big dog, our German Shepherd, Crixus, was a real hit when we post photos of it. People love him. So I thought getting him out here, some of these trails, especially like here today where there's no one out here, we can kind of run free. Some people have seen pictures but not really photos, so I really think there might be an interest for that. I even was thinking about, I got like this GoPro camera, it's like mounting it onto him and letting him run free and see what kind of footage he gets, or giving the GoPro camera to Alice and be like, go film, and kind of see what he can get, because I don't know, Alice can be a pretty good eye for it, and I think that could be really good. So some fresh ideas for the channel, hopefully keeps people interested. With snow coming up, I definitely plan to do some hikes in some amount of snow, as far as I can safely get to in the car. Like I said, unexperienced snow driver, so as long as roads are plowed, I can get there, but I don't want to go too off-roading until I get a little more experienced and confident in it. But the plan roughly is a Tuesday video, a Thursday video each week. Right now that's been kind of the schedule. I like to keep to that. I've got those old PCT through hike videos to release, and some other hiking videos I did from earlier, which I think are kind of cool. I'm just new to hiking. So I think those would be cool. Yeah, that was the other trail. It's a lot steeper. I think those could be cool to release. And then, yeah, those other ideas I mentioned. So hopefully people are still entertained. I understand it's not a big section hike or a through hike. I hope somewhere down the line, if financially that makes sense to do again, to do Washington, or maybe even the whole thing, or just more hiking if people are interested in that, and I can make it work financially and for our family. But at this point, I hope I can still make it entertaining. Like, there's tons of places in Washington, I mean all of Washington really, that I haven't explored. So we plan to start getting out there as weather allows and doing that. Definitely next summer, a huge influx of videos, no matter what the situation or work situation. Get out on our days off, get out on the weekends. We want to get more active again like we used to be, and filming along the way. So there's stuff for the channel and you guys can follow along. So a long point being, thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. Those who have stuck with me and keep watching the videos. I'm still kind of blown away. I did that what's next video and it's like 30 something minutes of me just talking, and it kills me. I'm like, why do you go on so long? And I feel like I repeat myself a lot, and tons of people watched it. Like, it was one of my most quickly successfully watched, I don't know what I'm looking for, the most views of almost any of my videos, the fastest. So that was crazy. So I always think putting my face on camera and me blabbing on is boring and no one's gonna watch, but maybe there's interest in that, so maybe I'll do more of that. I definitely have my opinions about things that I could rant on about, but I could probably lose half my followers, so gotta be careful with that. But anyway, point being, thank you all for watching the videos or going back and rewatching the videos, or whoever you've told about the videos. I appreciate it. Those of you that have signed up, subscribed, liked, commented on videos, that helps. Even if you're just like, hey, I loved your video, and I'll say, hey, thanks, I appreciate it, or whatever, just a little bit like that, helps, because the more comments, the more your video's suggested, that there's more engagement, and that's what YouTube likes, is the engagement of people watching. So if you got time, leave a comment. I try to respond to all of them, and questions or suggestions or any of that stuff, same thing, leave it there. So I guess I'll film right down here to these monument stuff again. So yeah, this has been Beezley. A nice little hike. I can see why people come up here in the morning and hit it every morning. Definitely gets the heart pumping. I'm sure it's beautiful in a little bit of snow. We're looking down at the city in snow. Quiet and peaceful, at least this morning. That might be because of the rain. And for a wide trail, which I know it's a road, obviously probably a pretty well used trail. There's not a lot of ton of dog poop everywhere, which usually on trails like this with a parking lot there is. Or your infamous, here we go, going a little rant, your infamous bagged dog poop on the side of the trail that they're going to come back and get, that no one gets. I mean, I guess I wouldn't know if they did get it because it wouldn't be there, but all I see at trailheads is a ton of bagged poop just sitting there. And you know they scooped it and don't want to carry it all the way up the hill. And I get that, but sorry, that's having a dog. I know not everyone's dog can do this, but we've tied it off to his collar or his leash before, and he can kind of carry the weight of it, especially for our dog, because he's a big boy, so when he goes, there's a lot of weight to it, and no one wants to smell it and carry it. I get it, but the chances of you remembering on the way down to grab that bag are not very good. Some of the bags those are in, it's actually worse than if you just let the dog, like at least the dog stuff is gonna decompose. Some of those plastic bags, you got your dog poop in, it has no chance of decomposing through the plastic bag that'll be here for who knows how long. So don't be one of those, I'll come back for it. Or if you are and you do, thank you for coming back for it, because then I never see it. But if you're those, like, I forget things all the time. So chances are after a long hike, you're tired, when you get back to the car, you'll probably forget the spot you dropped it in. I'm not saying it's on purpose, but if you don't do it in the first place, then you can't forget it. Tie it onto your backpack, tie it onto the dog's leash, something. Just don't just leave it on the side. Anyway, public service announcement, rant over. Car's down there, kind of by that white building. It's almost to the end. Thanks for watching. This has been, I think it's bound. This has been Beezley. So, at least take one. I'm sure there'll be other adventures up here. Hopefully, in less cloudier weather. Seems to be my trend. Hit the cloudy weather the first time and then come back when it's a little more beautiful. So, that's fine. Okay. Everyone have a good day. Peace.